Welcome to our show, Coffee with Chris. Our mission is to provide you with home care tips, education, and resources to ensure you receive the quality care you deserve in the comfort of your home.
We're here with Chris Zayed from the Affinity Senior Care in Commerce Township. And Chris, I was hoping we could talk a little bit more about 24/7 care, which is, it's not a decision that comes easy to families, but can you walk us through the need for and then what your company does with 24/7 care?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. It's definitely not an easy decision for a lot of family members to receive 24/7 care, but can be the best choice and path you could take in your life during sometimes the last months of your parents' life. I know that there are 3 scenarios that come about here in this office that people need 24/7 care. One is that they want to have a better wellness and quality of life and relationship for themselves and with their mom and their dad. Being the caretaker around the clock causes burnout, and a lot of family members want to wear that son and daughter hat again. And that's just one. And then 2, it could be the medical history or diagnosis base. Is what kind of condition do they have? For example, the number one is dementia here. Dementia, there are 6 types of dementias, and we won't go into detail about each one of them now, but it could be, if they have dementia, that can cause them to have 24/7 care. And then the third is their activities of daily living. What we constantly see is the mobility, the lifting, the transferring, the physical activity, and the personal care. If all of that at once is starting to get to the point where you cannot sleep at night and they can't take care of all of those that I just listed, then you're not sleeping at night really. You're just constantly worrying about your mom and your dad day and night. That's not a good quality of life for the primary family member that's taking care of their parents.
So walk us through a little bit about, is this usually on like 2 or 3 different shifts? How does that work with your caregivers?
Yeah, so in 24/7 care, you're looking at about 8-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts, and between 4 to 6 caregivers at a time.
And you try to keep the same caregivers with the family, so there's not a lot of re-education that has to happen?
That's our primary goal always, is to have consistency and dependability for having the same caregivers, especially when there's dementia. Seeing the same faces is going to be super important.
And of course, there are things out there to help. Long-term care insurance is something that if you want to protect yourself for later on in life and think that this may be something that you're going to deal with, definitely get some long-term care insurance, correct?
Yeah, if you haven't got it already or not sure if your parents even have it, you need to look now. If you're don't take it for granted that you're gonna just wait till your parents need home care services or caregiving services when they get elderly. You need to dive into it now. Most family members don't even know how to utilize long-term care insurance until it's really like their parents are at 80 and they lost all their mobility, and then what happens when they lose their memory. Then you're really in it when you're searching for home care services. And really, to give advice for most family members is that long-term care insurance is usually, they say, about 1 in 10 individuals use it right. And the reason why is that when it's time to utilize long-term care insurance, it's usually like the last 2 to 3 months of their life. And you actually can start your policy really early, and if you get pre-qualified by a home care company like us, we come out and do an assessment, and you send that over to the insurance policy, and they will send a nurse out there into your home and pre-qualify you to make sure that you need the care. Typically, it could be 30 to 60 or 90-day elimination period where you have to pay out of pocket. So, you're already right there about 2 to 3 months where you're going to have to privately pay until it kicks in. A lot of family members don't understand that. Now, you can save by having the minimum amount of hours with the home care company and kick it back up when you do get your when the 90-day elimination period is over, and then you can go ahead and utilize your benefits. But family members are not even sure if their parents have it or not until later on in life. Ask those questions with your mom and your dad. A lot of Ford, Chrysler, GM employees have long-term care insurance built into their policy. It's always good just to prepare and know ahead of time, so that way you don't make that mistake and privately pay, and you could have had it covered by insurance.
Well, and that's once it gets to the point where people are looking at 24/7 care, that's when they have to make that really big choice of whether or not we need to go to a facility or if we need to stay at home. So you're the option of we really want to stay at home, and every family member, every situation is different and unique and needs to be handled that way. But when they've made that decision that we do not want to go to a facility and stay at home, they should call you.
Exactly. I'm very fair. Doing our home safety checks before we even start care, I make sure I see if the environment is safe for us to be there. I'll be the first to tell you that your home is not safe for your mom and your dad, and facility probably would be the best choice. And that's when we work with our medical social workers that are on our team, and we can kind of, we work with all the facilities in the area, especially in our backyard, and they'll be glad to show you the value of living in a facility versus living at home. And it's not fair to us to continue to always say that home care is the choice. So it's good to work with an honest company too at the same time, because really at the end of the day, you're bearing the pain, and if we weren't to provide a good service for you, then we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing here.
Chris, that means so much, because what you just said is just who you are. I mean, if you walk into a home and you don't think that this is going to be safe for the loved one, you're going to recommend that they go to a facility.
Most definitely. I've been a caretaker, and we all are caretakers in our life. And before, not even working in this job, like all of us right now, we take care of our parents, our kids, our pets, our neighbors, our co-workers, whatever it is. We're caretakers in this world. And I already know that working here in this office, our employees, if they're not set up in the right environment, or the environment's not right, one is that they're not going to provide the best care for your loved one. And so that's why I do the safety assessment. It's not just for our family members, it's for our employees too. Because when our employees are in the right environment to take care of your mom and your dad, then it's a really good scenario. And it has to go both. I have to make recommendations for the family members to set up their home to make sure it's a good environment for their mom and their dad, and for our employees. And a lot of the times when I don't see like that matches up, I'm just completely honest with them and say, we have to go a different path, and that's okay. But it's sometimes it's short term where we can just set it up and everything is good, or the long term really is that you're going to use us for about a couple months, but we also should research some facilities, because that would be the better quality of life.
Well, and another huge benefit is all these people, all these companies around here, and I'm sure that you've found through your experience that some are better than others. So I can imagine that you only refer the ones that will treat the loved ones the best.
Marty, I feel like every owner that I've met in our community has a good heart and has a good business mindset, and what separates all the companies out there is the help. It's just like if you were to go to, let's just give an example, to a restaurant. You go to your favorite restaurant, but your waitress or your waiter, gave you a bad experience. But it's your favorite restaurant. The food was good, but the experience was bad because the waiter and the waitress was not actually, it didn't give you a pleasant experience. And that's kind of the same thing with all home care owners in the facilities. Everybody's doing the best they can, but the big representation of us are our team members. Sometimes it's really good, team members 1 month when you're working at a facility, and another, or a home care, and sometimes certain employees, it happens where they're not a best representation. And that happens, and I know that, and I try to always work with preferred providers that are out there as much as possible there in this area to be fair with everyone. But I think that it's important for us to give back to our local companies in the area. That's why I really do strive to work with the local companies in the area to make sure that they're always we always are helping each other.
Well, and you complement each other well. There are things that you do that they can't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of the bottom line is any successful business is one that takes care of their customers. The clients come first. So that's the sense I get from Affinity, is they want to make sure, regardless of if they end up working with you or not, that you're going to be taking care of that patient, that loved one.
Several times I have given up a case and given it to another home care company. It's not uncommon here in this office where I say, you know what, we're not going to be able to do the best we can here. It could be territorial based. We don't cover that area. We don't have enough employees in that area. They can go to another local company that would be able to take care of that family. It happens all the time. And I work with a lot of great owners, and as long as family members call me first, and I'll try to send them off the right way. It doesn't have to be here.
So if you're looking for 24/7 care, bless you. We know it's been a hard road. It won't hurt you to pick up the phone and call Chris, fill out the contact form for a free, free consultation, free home visit, and just have a conversation and have somebody to talk to, and Chris will point you in the right direction. Thank you, Chris.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you, Marty.
Affinity Senior Care.